Hi students, this section is on adding and subtracting matrices. So what exactly is a matrix? It's a way of organizing your data, and a matrix is a rectangular arrangement of numbers into horizontal rows and vertical columns. Each number in the matrix is called an entry or an element, and the size of a matrix is described as number of rows times the number of columns. And right below here we have an example of a matrix. So we have our rows and our columns. Rows are blue, columns are red. And then they're showing what an entry is. This entry 4, the entry is in the second row and in the third column. That would be the value 4 right there. The matrix above is a 3 by 4 matrix, read 3 by 4, because it has 3 rows and 4 columns. Think of a matrix as a type of table that can be used to organize your data, as we've mentioned. So let's look right away at some examples here. It says, write a matrix to organize the following information for your CD collection. So we can set this up 2 different ways. I'm going to show you one way and then another. So first way I'm going to show you is where we set it up as the, whoops, sorry about that, where we have the type of music showing as our rows. So if we put country, rock, and blues, and then we would put, for our columns, it would be groups, solo artists, and then collection. So let me create the matrix based off those. So if you look at your country for your groups, that's going to be 4. Country for solo artist is going to be 6. And then country collections are 0. Now let's look at our rock music. We have 8 groups, 3 solo artists, and 3 collections. And then our blues, we have 1 group of blues, 5 solo artists, and 2 collections. So that's setting up the rows based on the type of music, and then the grouping itself of each type of music going as your columns. Another way we could set this up, so this is our second way. And let me change my color of my pen here. I'll write that in blue actually. So we would have groups for my top row. Now we would do solo artists for my second. And collections for my third. And then we would put country for the top, rock, and blues. So for the groups, for country groups, we would have this be 4. Groups for rock would be 8. Groups for blues would be 1. So notice we're using the same numbers. It's just we've set the matrix up a little bit differently the second time around. So now for country, now we'll look at solo artists. Solo artists for country would be 6. Solo artists for rock would be 3. And solo artists for blues would be 5. For collections, for country, that would be 0. Collections for rock is 3. Collection for blues is 2. And those are the 2 different kinds of matrices we could have created based on this data given to us. Example number 2 here and 3, it shows you how you can add and subtract matrices. So if we look at A right here, our first matrix, we have 4, 2, 0, -3, -5, and 1, plus a second group of matrix, which is 1, 0, 2, -1, 6, -4. And what you do here, what this is showing is you are going to add the matching situations within each matrix together. So here we'll get 4 plus 1 to get 5. Now we'll add 2 and 0 to get 2. Notice it's showing our steps here, and I'm just writing my final answer in this last matrix. 0 plus 2 is going to give me 2. -3 plus -1 is going to give me -4. -5 plus 6 is going to give me 1. And 1 plus -4 is going to give me -3. So this would be my final answer once I add those two matrices together right there. Second matrix, same idea, we're just subtracting here. Notice it shows our steps, 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is going to give me 6. Now we have -6 minus 5, which is going to give me -11. 5 minus -3, think of that as 5 plus 3, which is 8. And 0 minus 2 gives me -2. And that would be my answer. Last example here, we're given a word problem, and they have set this up where we need to solve this. So it says the United States Congress is composed of the House of Representatives and the Senate. So the first matrix is House of Representatives. The second matrix is the Senate. The matrices below show the number of men and women in Senate and the House at the 1999 106th Congress. Write and label a single matrix that shows the number of men and women in Congress in 1999. So what we need to do here is we are going to add these two different matrices together to get our final result. So what we're going to do is add 172 to 39. So we can set this up here. So we can say this would be Congress. This whole matrix is going to be Congress. We'll have the men set up for our first column, women set up for the second column. Then we have Democrats for our first row. Then we have Republicans. And then other. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to add 172 and 39 for men. And when we add 172 and 39, we get 211. I'm going to fix here too. I see a type error with Republicans. Get the B. There we go. Now we're going to add 39 and 6 to get 45. We're going to add 206 and 52 to get 258. We're going to add 17 and 3 to get 20, 1 and 0 to get 1, and 0 and 0 we get 0. So this final matrix right here is showing our total Congress men and women for Democrats, Republicans, and other in the year of 1999.